for? Why do I always get like 2 attacks down? Trash kid. Trash kid. Trash this game. Fight me. Bro. Too trash this game. Alright, Ow. What? Yeah, I can do it. Don't make me. I don't care that you broke your elbow. Wow! So daring.
Quite a feat.
Well, yeah.
Sir, this spell shall guide me to the kingdom of gold.
I escaped. You mad or not? Hey. Over this way. Along dread.
Oh, something's filling up. Is it your spirit animal?
I think that is just
Filling up anyway?
That's the cooldown. Okay.
That cat. Is that the same cat, or is that a new
This
cat?
might be Kodama. Are there Kodama around? I think the cat's done its job.
I mean, it definitely did do its job.
Right, let's do it. Looking for a new. What am I talking about? A new altar. Would be good. Oh look, there's a thing over there. So I think my mission is sort of to. I've been closing the floodgates, opening the floodgates.
Right. So you're going to flood someone.
Just opening a path. Maybe. Oh, hello. No.
That was naughty. Goodbye. No more of that.
Oh look,
Thank you.
there's another one. No, 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 no.
Is your friend?
I don't know, maybe he wants to speak to me. He does seem to be not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's strange that he's not giving you like a little objective marker like that. Okay. I mean, if I was him, I'd be like, I'm going to just stick by this hot spring. I think. Thanks for everything.
Okay. So that's good. Which is a shame because he was a great hero. But that's the difficulty with raised with that in mind.
James L says, thanks for assisting me getting through the last hours of a slow Friday afternoon. Spend time swapping up on the details of what we do here. Stop going. I mean, that's a very intriguing message, James L. What do you do? But I'll be glad we can help. I'm not sure that we're helping you swat up, but unless what you do there is murder yokai or train spirit animals. Something like that. Just anything to do with ninjas, really. You know in Japan they have ninjas, isn't it?
Yeah, I did. Maybe about all of our things.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So
I tried to interrupt his attack. Oh, come all the way down there. That's what he decided to do.
you are quite low, but you've taken care of things. Heirloom gauntlets.
Yeah, you may notice I'm slow going much slower because I don't know what's happening or what's going on. Also, I feel like there's a way to get up here. But I guess we can't get up.
Problematic. What's this mean? Is that a barrier or is it like a mad in here? Come in here. Oh, that was good though. We now reach the limit of your experience of the your first time into the we've broken new ground at the kind of 50-something minute mark. We're now on 54 minutes. And soon we'll stop counting. Oh, excuse me. Nexus Dim says, hi Nate, hi Dave, how are you both doing today? And in answer, was that yawn really? I'm quite tired, but good. It's been a long week, I think. That Halloween stream's taking it out of me. And I need more lemon.
I be very careful with that.
You do. That's right. Make sure you read the instructions.
Oh, jump down in this guy. I don't know what kind of guy he is. I don't know if I've killed someone like him recently.
An amateur home cook asks, is he close to the final boss yet? Well, we don't know. Is the answer. Because we've not been through this beta fully.
Oh, it's just the same as before, right? No, that's the one thing I didn't want him to do! Flipping heck, man!
I like that comes right off the back of the revelation of like, oh wait a minute, I know this guy, I know what he's capable of. He's killed me.
Up. So I'm all the way back here now, down to power. But,
I don't know what Marcus Reading's talking about, but Marcus Reading says, I'm fairly sure those things are hanging. It's nothing to me, I'm afraid, but it sounds good. that have a big, exposed, glowing belly. I think that's just good life advice.
I didn't open the shortcut, that's why but now I have. So now we can fire.
Oh, I see where we are. Trouble pack. Not ideal. Oh, how?
Joking.
Just fire. As if he didn't know his mate there. Yeah, that's good. That was smart.
Bullshit.
Oh, there we are.
I'm gonna use this. Yeah, that wasn't great. I want this guy to come outside. Come outside and fight me, you fool. Actually, it's not working. Got to continuously move. Where's my lab? Stop it. Okay. How many guys upstairs, Dave?
Two, I remember. And that's a different room.
So I work.
Yeah, they are. 2 lads.
That's bad.
That could have been better, I'll be honest. Maybe on a first floor, you know, flat. First floor apartment. Not the place for worming. Oh, that was some impressive not getting hit there. Julian Fleming says names more cerebral. That'll get it. This landing is really not the place.
It's worked out.
It's worked out very well. Your weapon's gone all purple again. Let's figure out how to open that door. Oh, what? Sometimes are those like enemies?
Do I have better
Tabby Black says it's still there. I mean, it's somewhere. It's not dead, but it's that's for sure.
Wait. Let me do it.
Alexander Peterson says this game looks a bit harder than the first.
I'm certainly having a hard time.
I mean, it's one of those games that you just need to spend time with things. You know, so you can't sort of pick it up
Once you like
for an hour and then.
prepare, so this is what we need to do. Actually, I'm going to do this for a good reason.
Okay.
Now we can get Choco Cup sorry. I think I'm just going to win on
I've got better key than you. Oh! Good.
Give me the cup.
Nate, I've got some terrible news.
No!
We are into overtime.
I love overtime. Everyone loves overtime.
Everyone loves overtime. And the mission is failed. I mean, it's only a semi-mission.
Ow!
That I kind of sprung on Nate
Here.
but
Rush
Not really
again.
that is a fact.
Well, he hated that. And didn't really like that either.
Will you just stop defending your body and just let it happen? Just let it happen. Now it's over. You're dead. Oh, you don't get to use elixirs.
I'm dead! What he bombed me, is he? Oh,
Death
I'm extremely cross.
Death by explosion.
How did he do that before my yoke went on? Oh, why have I gone back to do that?
What are you doing?
I really wanted,
I don't know. Maybe I died because I can't move.
Leave 4 down. Sorry, Dan.
Poor Nate.
Box
some
Knight
cups.
says penalty kicks. Not really. No, we're not. We just need extra time. Well, overtime.
Well, I should not have done
No, you.
It's too far away.
It's not working right now, is it?
Hello,
Oh, great.
Who the heck are these guys?
Hey, I heard there was a battle going on. I thought I'd get involved. I brought my spear and my friend.
Do you know what? I just...
Is it running?
Some of the spears we where's my thing? Thank you, everybody. Where is my spirit animal?
You've got it.
Why have I got it?
You've got it. You got it right at the start. Oh God. Oh.
This is all I want.
Right.
Hey, that's the shortcut I should have opened for.
Take your time, don't even worry about it. Hooray! So now we can all move on. Dan says, if overtime becomes longer than regular time, you do have to rename.
Okay. I'll be quick.
Second half, says Oliver Bar.
Right. Look. Now though, this is what I should have done before. Hooray! And because I killed that thing earlier.
Hooray! Double hooray!
Double hooray.
Blue sword. This is Jerry.
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 Stop it, Jerry.
Jerry, stop beating you.
No, he doesn't. Stop it, Jerry. How are you blocking? Now you'll keep going down. No.
Yeah? Yeah? I'm hungry! I'm hungry!
We're live on the internet.
What? What? One sec. ya. Love you. Come on. Where? Hey, boy, come here, man. Right there. Yuzuki the brick. Okay, Yuzuki. Okay. Yuzuki. Oh, shit. Shit, bro. Calm down. Yuzuki. You good? Yo, Zuru. Oh shit. I don't know how he didn't see me. Hey, bish you what? No, bish nigga, snish nigga. Holy bish nigga, snish nigga. Nigga, bish nigga, snish nigga. In the house. Yo, Yowzeroo! Oh, yo, yo. There you go. Yep, they're all here. Okay. And some have good time. Look at that. Ingot. Oh, I have elixir. Here's one. Bro. Calm down. Gotta do the cooking by the book. I'm not hungry by the book. Really cooking by the book. I'm real lazy. I go. He never thought in like Cowabunga. I gotta do the fucking book. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. I'm a yellow. Yay. Oh, yeah. Grrr. Ooh, back steel axe. Give me a second. Oh, brother. Alright then. Jeez. Come on. Say something that's unsure, boy. You're a tree because I'm not a fucking pussy. Come on, bro! What up? You wanna fucking hit me? Yo, you wanna fucking hit me like that? Come on, fucking kill yourself. Actually kill yourself. Yeah, your head clean fucking off. Clean fucking off. No. You see what you did to these people? Yeah, your head fucking clean off. Clean it off. Fuck you. And your mother. And your entire fucking family. Kill yourself. Something like I'll do cracking in the park. Gotta do the cracking by the park. Don't be lazy. No, fuck you, everything was. I will kill these people. I don't care. Oh yeah, you wanna hit me this? No, fuck you. Suck your dick. Baddest one come back. Baddest one. Come here, show. Not as good. Not as good. Better. Alright, gotta come by the book, bitch. Oh my god, are you serious? Actually kill yourself. Oh, you're really good. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I cut up some. Yeah, you got a problem. Yo, fucking badass. I cut up some. Didn't even try. Fucking weak. They're just fucking weak. Fuck you. Fuck. You little bitch. No. Never. I'll be niggers. Start. Radical. I'm gonna block a radical. Oh, kill this baggy full of Adderall. Oh, fucking. Such a B-Tech guy. I'll eat that nigga outside. Yeah. Don't watch you. Look at you. Just kill yourself already. Fucking kill yourself. Actually die. Yeah. I cut your head off. I have to kill you for you, sir. I have to kill you. You're so bad at killing things, I have to kill yourself for you. Fuck you. Oh, fuck you, Tim. Yeah, I got your fucking head off. Look like I care. Don't be lazy. How the fuck am I supposed to get? Up there. La, 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 la. Don't be lazy. He's like a knife, but he's like a. But instead he's like a. Oh! Kill you. RNG, bro. Oh, no, I'm dead, I'm so dead. Why aren't you moving? Why aren't you fucking moving?
I mean, is that good? Level? I guess I'm on the highest level possible because they're more likely to have more.
I can't remember your rubbish friend. Something like
I had one very good friend.
Benita.
Just a little... Oh!
She was only a level 8. She was rubbish.
What is
Oh, there's one,
Why
yeah.
is there like a secret level bit here? Should I take this guy on? My record against him isn't great, is it?
Yeah, you got. I don't know. Well, you've got a hot spring. You're not going to be able to take. Oh yes. Oh, you really didn't like that.
Should have got my triangle in there and I haven't.
Maybe a little.
Oh, there's a thing right here the whole time.
That works.
Leave me. That's where it's done.
That's a good move for you to know. He's got it back again. I hate that he does that. He never comes to retrieve it. Come on. Yes.
Yay. Okay, cool. What have I done myself? Alexia.
And there's a revenant right there.
I don't really need the revenant.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I've got those cups.
Oh, heck yeah.
Loads of cups, mate.
My gunpowder bomb. This guy, who's he? Level 13. Sure, let's get him
That
out.
sounds great.
Hello.
Radical.
We bound him. I can't remember.
See me,
Sorry, not bad.
see me, I can't ready for that Adderall.
Right, okay.
I ain't got enough of it, yeah.
Daryl said this one should finish the first 2 top game. I'm glad you enjoyed the first 2. I really playing.
Happy with my cord.
First look at the boss. Fishing one boss.
See me in your coat, kamikali bugger. For you, fish. Whoop. Fish. Focus snake. Fish. Oh, nigga, fish.
So what, are yokai weapons good against yokai?
I don't know what it does. I mean, it's quite tough.
Yeah.
I've got better season dragons.
Very cool.
No,
I've got 0 to 0. Yeah. PlayStation actually says, can we do this now? Yeah, it was. To be fair, I mean, Nate did the same. I assumed that would be both a valuable lesson today. But I'm enjoying myself nonetheless. Jacob M says, I hope the boss is just Dane, proving he is truly the boss. Oh, that's the boss.
確かこの森の小屋にあれで一瞬報いてやる
Wait, coming on match.
Oh shit.
But the dude, you get
Yeah, off turn. See me, your college campus baggies for that. Oh shit, now they have fire arrows.
Shinobi waistguard, yes please. Beginning to look a bit...
And then throwing them at us in the form of bosses. Oh, having fun, were you? Now try and take this thing down. Here are 7 video game bosses so big they shouldn't be allowed. Our first entry is from Shadow of the Colossus, which you might think is strange, seeing as how the entire game is about clobbering sad mountains to death with a sword the size of a colossi toothpick. But there is one that stands out even among its gargantuan brethren, Phalanx. Now, Phalanx is unique in a couple of ways. First off, it's entirely benevolent. Instead of attacking Wander, it simply floats around its desert home, thinking about all the things a massive flying sand serpent would think about, like, what is my recommended daily calorie allowance? And from up here, everything seems so small and insignificant. And secondly, Phalanx is so massive, you could probably hold a big, depressing get-together for the other 15 colossi on his back. Looking at the official Team Eco Wiki, we can see that Phalanx has a wingspan of 200 feet. That's like 2 fully grown blue whales end to end. And a total body length of 557 feet. That would reach over halfway up the Eiffel Tower, for goodness sake. But it's okay because you're armed with a horse, some arrows and determination. The way to bring down this sentient aircraft carrier is by puncturing the inflatable gas bags on its body, essentially keeping it aloft like a blimp, and then scrambling up its wings when it nears the earth. Then it's a simple case of finding 3 weak spots and stabbing it repeatedly until it dies. Yeah, look at this magnificent creature I just killed that didn't attack us at all. Well done, me. Next up is this tower of alien terror from Resistance 2, lovingly referred to as Leviathan, a 300-foot chimera who, much like all oversized monsters who find themselves in human cities, really likes smashing buildings and being impervious to pretty much every weapon you have. When Leviathan first rumbled into view back on the early-ish days of PS3, it was one of the most terrifying things we'd ever seen. Technically astounding, yes, but that did little to alleviate the horror of realizing Leviathan wasn't going away until you made it go away. Which was easier said than done when you consider Leviathan's primary combat tactic of picking Nathan Hale up off the floor and trying to eat him. Thankfully, you're equipped with the L-210 Lark rocket launcher, which, when fired at point-blank range into Leviathan's gaping mouth, does at least cause it some dental issues. Unhappy with the fact its food is firing, horror of realizing it just killed that didn't attack us at all. Well done, me. Next up is this tower of alien terror from Resistance 2, lovingly referred to as Leviathan, a 300-foot chimera who, much like all oversized monsters who find themselves in human cities, really likes smashing buildings and being impervious to pretty much every weapon you have. When Leviathan first rumbled into view back on the early-ish days of PS3, it was one of the most terrifying things we'd ever seen. Technically astounding, yes, but that did little to alleviate the horror of realizing Leviathan wasn't going away until you made it go away. Which was easier said than done when you consider Leviathan's primary combat tactic of picking Nathan Hale up off the floor and trying to eat him. Thankfully, you're equipped with the L-210 Lark rocket launcher, which, when fired at point-blank range into Leviathan's gaping mouth, does at least cause it some dental issues. Unhappy with the fact its food is firing back, Leviathan then chucks Nathan Hale across Chicago in disgust, much like you or I would chuck a particularly spicy chili across the dining room. Then it's your job to lure the marauding ET under a bridge with the idea of blowing it up along with Leviathan's head using a remote detonator. But typically that goes wrong and Nathan, fine, I'll do bloody everything then hail, has to blow the bridge up himself using his rocket launcher.
Seriously, what is the point of NPCs in a first-person shooter? They are worse than useless.
With the Leviathan's skull now exposed, one more well-aimed Lark rocket is enough to bring it down. I don't care how many buildings you've beaten up, mate, you're not surviving that. Final Fantasy 15 is next because I'm still playing it religiously and I'll put it in all the Friday features if I want, so shut up. In all honesty though, you can't make a list about Humongo bosses and not include Adamantoise, a reptile whose shell is a literal mountain. Fly over it in the regalia and it looks massive enough. Approach it on foot and it feels like you're about to do battle with a belligerent piece of planet.
Adamantoise isn't all that dangerous. His attacks are slow and not particularly damaging. The problem is the amount of HP he's got stuffed inside that shell.
Over 5 million. I mean, it's a pretty big shell, not a Metal Gear reference. And so you get to work, warp striking him in the eye again and again and again and again and again and again. I mean, beating this thing is the last thing I have to do to get the Final Fantasy 15 Platinum. So I thought it would be nice if I recorded my attempts at the fight with Nathan Dave and made it into a video. We ended up having to completely rejig the weekly schedule to fit it in.
So, Monday I'm doing Access Granted and you're fighting the Adamantoise.
Yeah.
Tuesday I'm now writing the next Friday feature and you're fighting the Adamantoise.
Yeah.
Wednesday I'm editing the Friday feature and you're fighting the Adamantoise.
Yeah.
This is stupid, I'm doing all your work.
Yeah. We're shrinking it down for entry number 4. It's the Gigantosaurus from Dino Crisis 2, which measures in at a measly 5 meters tall and 13 meters long. Basically a gnat compared to the Phalanx. But I'm including it on this list because the enormity of the terror it instilled in me back in the day still stings my memory even now. The fact you encounter it in such an enclosed space makes it seem even bigger too. Plus there's the fact it's killed off the T-Rex, a foe you've been going toe to massive toe with the entire game. A symbolic shift of power that basically says you're going to die now and there's nothing you can do about it.
I remember the sound of it, the crash of those feet, that horrible alien roar.
And no matter what you did to the Gigantosaurus, no matter how many rocket launchers it took to the face or exploding buildings it was caught in, it just kept on coming. A dinosaur Terminator, hell-bent on sending you to the game over screen with one simple swipe of its jaw.
Thankfully, Gigantosaurus had one weakness, a weakness shared by many a PS1 boss. The CG cutscene.
That's right. By touching this computer, I've launched a pre-rendered cinematic that results in your death by laser satellite. Eat GPS, Gigantosaurus. Man, Dino Crisis was great, wasn't it? Next up is Metal Gear Sahelanthropus from Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, otherwise known simply as Sahelanthropus, because that's much easier to say.
I'm just going to call it Sally from here because I'm sick of writing it down to Sahelanthropus.
God, even its name is too big. Anyway, Sally isn't as massive as a 300-foot alien or a tortoise mountain, but by standing upright on 2 legs, is the tallest Metal Gear at just under 50 feet. No, I'm not counting Arsenal Gear, who does? And when you encounter it in the Phantom Pain, it feels even bigger, towering over Venom Snake and moving with alarming speed and agility. I mean, I'm used to dodging a few slow-moving missile attacks and then plugging Metal Gears in the face with a Stinger launcher. This battle is not like that. You're constantly on the defensive, hiding behind rocks, chancing quick pot shots while avoiding its bloody magic bendy fire swords I can't remember the actual name of.
I mean, you look really cool, Sally, I'll give you that, but is it too much to ask for you to just stick to a regular pattern of attacks?
One that I can learn and then exploit, like most other giant bosses. No, you're just going to be well designed and reactive, are you? Damn you, Metal Gear Sally, you enormous, cool, really quite difficult boss fight you. Kronos is next, that poster boy for massive bosses, and one that even stands out in a series like God of War. A series that practically trips over itself in its attempts to continually push the scale, grandeur and gore of its iconic god tussles. I mean, I know Kratos is a badass and all, but this is a right old mismatch, proven, I think, by the fact you spend a large portion of this fight doing battle with Kronos' fingernail. I mean, look, Kronos could just crush him there easily. I don't care how strong Kratos is, you can't do anything against that.
But then again, it is Kratos we're talking about, a man for whom death is but a minor inconvenience.
And who can pretty much kill anything with a pulse. Just check this out, he gets eaten by...
About a man for whom death is but a...
Just crush him there, easily. I don't care how strong Kratos is, you can't do anything against that.
But then again, it is Kratos we're talking about, a man for whom death is but a minor inconvenience.
And who can pretty much kill anything with a pulse. Just check this out, he gets eaten by Kronos, then cuts him open from the inside and intestines the size of the M1 come pouring out, then shoves this lump of blue stuff through his chin, then cuts him open from the inside and intestines the size of the M1 come pouring out, then shoves this lump of blue stuff through his chin, then finishes him off by crawling all over his face and putting a sword right through his forehead.
Next time, Kronos, just chew, yeah?
Our last entry is Gongan Wyzen from Asura's Wrath, who, if you're unfamiliar with him, is this big. This is just silly, really, isn't it? He's bigger than the actual planet. So big that his fingertip burns up as it enters the atmosphere and incinerates the landscape for miles around, turning it into a fiery, molten mess. Luckily for everyone outside the fingertip blast zone, Asura is able to punch the fingertip so fast and so hard that it blows Gongan Wyzen to smithereens while miraculously leaving the planet intact. Amazing.
I mean, Gongan Wyzen could just do that, couldn't he? Or even that, and we'd all be dead.
He could probably pick the planet up and chuck it into the sun if he wanted, but with great size comes great stupidity, apparently, because he just goes for the evil, smiley finger poke, which turns out to be his undoing. So there we go, 7 bosses so massive they shouldn't be allowed. Can you think of any others? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like the video, because then we'll become a YouTube channel too massive to be allowed. And also subscribe if you haven't yet for more of these list videos every Friday. In fact, why don't we watch another one by clicking one of the links on screen now. See you next week.
Come on! Gongan Wyzen.
Hello, you've caught me blinded, poisoned, silenced, asleep, slowed, berserked, and confused. I'm fighting a Malboro in Final Fantasy VIII, a disgusting, tentacled abomination that's plagued the series for years with his infamous bad breath attack. Just the sight of that hideous gaping mouth sends even the hardiest of Final Fantasy veterans scurrying for cover under their chocobo feather duvet. But the most galling thing is they're not even bosses. They just appear in the wild, pretending to be regular encounters, so there's just no preparing for it. Give me Ultima Seer, give me Sephiroth, give me that weird floating bull thing from the end of Final Fantasy X, give me Ozma from Final Fantasy IX. Just don't give me Malboros. They're too difficult for not bosses. I shouldn't have to feel dread clawing its clammy way down my spine unless I also get to listen to a kick-ass boss theme. I have to farm Malboro tentacles from these things for various reasons across most iterations of Final Fantasy. Enough with the bad breath. I mean, it's bad, so not even I can compare to a Malboro. Anyway, here are 7 ridiculously tough enemies, well, 6 now, that aren't bosses, but should be. Seriously though, needing work. Next up, we've got regenerators from Resident Evil 4, which at first don't seem particularly troublesome, do they? Here's one now. It's a bit bigger than a human and is grey and horrible, but doesn't really seem any worse than what I've faced already. There, got him. Okay. Got him. Got him, please tell me I got him. We all remember our first encounter with the regenerators of Resident Evil 4, don't we? An initial indifference that spikes violently into abject panic as you try desperately to find the exit while listening to those horrible snuffling noises they make. Finding yourself
oh my god,
in a
stop.
freezer with a bunch of them hanging
The
from the
reason.
ceiling in bags, saving them for later, I guess, only to discover that to progress
No!
freezer off, which means, yes, they
Where's my fucking healing?
and get their legs shot off and wriggle about on the floor and they should be bosses. Wait, not they, it. There should be one and it should be a boss, and even then it would be one too many. Our next entry is the Handyman from Bioshock Infinite, or Handymen, not sure what the official plural is. Maybe I'll just go with big metal douchebags. Yes, that sounds good. I'll update the official Bioshock with that later. Anyway, the Handyman was created as a sort of mobile medipod for sick and injured people, enabling them to live normal lives, encased in 20 feet of rampaging steel. But this is Bioshock, isn't it? And so, much like the cities of Rapture and Columbia, outwardly good intentions hide a twisted reality. That being that humans encased within the big metal douchebags are in constant pain, never able to sleep, and have their hearts lovingly displayed in an easily shootable liquid vial on their chest. But whatever, my compassion for these things ran out the first time one smashed my face in while I was minding my own business, you know, just casually shooting on riding about on the sky rail. They are ridiculously strong, and fast, and aggressive. At least the big daddies left you alone if you ignored them. Not the handymen, however, no. They want you to suffer as much as they are. Well, Mr. Handyman, you've succeeded. Congratulations. You're one of those enemies that make my stomach instantly feel like it's full of liquid panic as soon as you appear. Go away and be a boss or something. Next, honey badgers. Far Cry 4. Don't even think about making that stupid joke again. Look at these bloody things. Look how much damage they can take, and they just don't care. They just don't care. I don't even need to explain this one. Just watch. Watch this. Don't worry, it's probably still alive. See, there it is. Told you. Next up, you know in Uncharted when you get near the end and the enemies start wearing body armor and hauling miniguns about and generally just making you wish for the good times of pretty jungles full of bad men in flimsy t-shirts? Well, we're talking about the bit after that, you know, the bit where the supernatural nasties start showing up. Like the Yetis from Uncharted 2 that, lol, turn out to be not Yetis, of course, because Yetis aren't real, but are in fact giant blue men in Yeti suits. What? Our next entry, however, is not the Guardians of Shambhala, but the cursed Spanish pirates from Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Oh, I still remember when they first showed up. God, it was terrifying. Everything up until that point had been nice, friendly cover shooting. Now you were faced with crazed undead pirates that didn't care about being shot. All they wanted to do was run at you really, really fast while screaming. There's that bit, isn't there, where you have to fight off loads of them with Eddie Raja while Elena takes forever to throw you down a rope. Man, this bit was tough. I spent the last hour or so of Drake's Fortune dreading what was around the next corner because most of the time it was hordes of these. Where are the minigun guys or the armoured snipers? Please, just give me some armoured snipers. Look at this lovely game. It's Dark Chronicle if you were confused, or Dark Cloud 2 if you're still confused. And basically it's brilliant. A deep and varied role player with excellent characters and serene music. Another great thing about Dark Chronicle is that if you run into something hard,
You just get your ride pod out.
Your ride pod is called Steve, here he is, and he guns down everything too big for Max's spanner. Until, of course, you find yourself in a level with a red seal that locks Max out of the game and have to take down everything with Monica's magic armband. Yes, she has a sword too, but against our 6th entry, the massive rock golems, using a sword is about as effective as using a toothbrush in a fight against a wall. They just don't care, golems. They just keep walking forwards, slowly, and it doesn't take many hits to get them enraged either. You have to be incredibly careful, pulling them into areas where you're sure there aren't any other enemies, chipping away at their health with magic, and making absolutely sure you don't go anywhere near them because it's not like you can just avoid them either, because Sod's Law is always one of them that's got the key to the next level. Tips for survival: play like a coward and stock up on bread. Lots and lots of lovely life-affirming bread. Now, final entry, and obviously I had to include something from Soulsborne. There was lots of competition. You've got the shark giants in Bloodborne. Yep. There's the bone wheel skeletons in Dark Souls, but we're going for the giant depraved ones in Demon's Souls. Yes, way back in the series' infancy, when the creeping terror of
Oh my god,
your way
fuck
through a
off,
Souls
I
game was
swear.
still new to everyone, these things just took the piss. Deep in the Valley of Defilement you'll find them, hunched, mutated, moly things with clubs that like to attack while you're knee-deep in sludge, and therefore unable to dodge. Even compared to everything that had come before, the giant depraved ones were just that little bit further along the oh my god, what now scale. You have to pull them into a place where you have the advantage, i.e. the tiny bits of dry land poking intermittently throughout the swamp. You have to fight them one at a time, you have to wait for the swing and duck underneath it. Fail to do any one of these things, and it's hello, game over. I mean, compare them to these things from Bloodborne, and you could argue the giant's depraved ones have lost a bit of their fear factor, but they're the original, classic, terror-inducing non-boss. If it weren't for them, shark giants might not even exist. And wouldn't that be a shame? Well, there we go, 7 ridiculously tough enemies that aren't bosses, but should be. Let us know in the comments if you can think of any more. Like this video or I'll cry. And please do subscribe if you haven't yet for more of these videos every Friday. Thanks for watching.
Yes! Finished! 6 hours of solid editing. It's done. Now do the thumbnail and the end card.
Oh, poor Dave. There's always something else to do, isn't there? Drying up after washing up, putting the kit away after finishing a shoot, cleaning your hands after using the bathroom. What a pain. And then you've got those times in video games where you think you've done it, you think you've killed the big bad, and you're all ready to do a smug tweet about what a great gamer you are, and the game goes, ha! Not really. Now fight this thing I've just introduced into the story right now because I can. Go on, suck those endorphins back in and get some surging panic back in your bloodstream. It's time for the actual final boss. Well done, game. You got us. Here are 7 times the final boss wasn't really the final boss at all. Spoilers for everything, naturally. So if we start talking about a game you haven't finished yet, then skip to the next bit. Anyway, we'll kick things off with a Final Fantasy entry, because this kind of thing happens about 20 times across the series. You'll thrash the hit point pants off a baddie thinking you've saved the world, only to find out that actually they were being brainwashed by someone even more evil. I'm going to flump for Final Fantasy
shine, however. For the beginning, Queen Bran is the main bad guy, although anyone who's played a Final Fantasy game before knows she's probably not final boss material on account of the fact she doesn't have silver hair.
By the end of Disc 1, Kuja has appeared, an enigmatic sorcerer with silver hair who's clearly more powerful than your entire party put together. Beep 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 screams your final boss radar. Surely this is the guy.
But then wait, who's this wannabe Sith Lord spouting exposition to himself inside a big evil room?
That's Garland, the man who created Kuja. Now, surely he is the final boss.
No, Kuja kills him.
Okay, so Kuja is the final boss. Yep, here he goes, having a big old god tantrum and threatening to destroy the world because he's a bit sad. Well, Kuja, you're going to have to die now. There we go. At least now all the villain swapping is over and I can enjoy a nice long CG cutscene and the end of the game.
Who are you now?
Necron, a big muscly thing, crystal thing that's evil and is there to return everything to zero, which sounds really nasty, doesn't it? Come on then, Mr. Actual Final Boss, let's do it. At least you've got some catchy music. Next up, we've got Okami, an action-adventure masterpiece about a sun goddess who takes the form of a wolf and restores balance to the world with a magic paintbrush. Her nemesis, a multi-headed abomination called Orochi, the source of all the darkness in the world and the definite end goal of your adventure. I mean, the game says this constantly.
Beat Orochi, you've got to kill Orochi. Orochi is the source of all evil. Orochi, Orochi, Orochi.
Turns out Orochi is a comparatively inconsequential boss about halfway through the game. Yeah, I fell for it, Okami. I foolishly thought you were a 20-hour adventure and that I'd heroically destroyed your big bad. Turns out you're a 40-hour game and your big bad is actually a massive evil bull called Yami, whose final form is a massive evil bull with a claw.
I didn't really mind, to be honest. Okami is such a good game that an extra 20 hours of it is, if anything, a massive bonus.
Plus it means you don't have to fight the actual final boss with bumbling sword fraud Susanoo, who's basically Okami's version of Hercule from Dragon Ball Z. Man, what a waste of half the Cell Saga he was. Next up, I've got Nioh, a game I obviously haven't finished because it's quite hard and I don't play hard games. But Nathan has platinumed it and told me all about the cheeky boss bluffing that happens at the end. So you spend most of the game chasing this evil bloke called Kelly, and when you finally catch up with him after he's thrown a bunch of irritating minion mini-boss grenades at you, you get to fight him one-on-one, and it's, as expected, a pretty tough duel.
Anyone who's played any game ever will know that's not the end of it, though. Never do you just fight a man as the final boss in a game like this.
Enter Yamata no Orochi, a nasty piece of work who shares a name and the whole horrible multi-headed monster thing with our previous fake final boss from Okami.
Fun fact, Orochi is actually a monster from Japanese mythology with 8 heads and 8 tails.
What is not recorded in ancient Japanese text is how Orochi is always a foil for the real final boss, because once again old 8-Face has been upstaged, this time by a bloke with 100 eyes. That's right, you think you're done, but you've still got one more boss to desperately dodge through, and here he is.
Well, it looks like he's only got 2 eyes to me.
Ah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. Yeah, there are 100. Anyway, die. It's another JRPG next, who'd have thought it? This time, Ni no Kuni, and here's the crucial bit, the subtitle, Wrath of the White Witch. Now, you spend the majority of the game chasing down Shadar, the Dark Djinn with dreadlocks and no face, but it's kind of obvious he's only a stooge because, well, we see him taking orders from this loon, the titular White Witch, with her echoing voice and soulless mask. So evil. And so, in true JRPG style, you battle your way through the final dungeon, and it's dark and oppressive, and Shadar appears, and he has about 27 different forms, you know, standard. And then, after 70 hours or so of epic questing, it's finally time to take on Cassiopeia, the White Witch herself. It's a tough old fight, this one, and you feel a real sense of relief when you finally nail that finishing blow. Surely that's the game done.
Ni no Kuni then even goes into full JRPG ending mode. The music's nice. A young boy gives life advice to a woman who's about 2,000 years old.
She realizes she's been bad and reverts back to when she was pretty and kind. Hooray! World saved. But wait! What about this formless evil that's just assembled itself out of nothing? Enter the Zodiac, a physical manifestation of Cassiopeia's long-dead council of 12 very nasty people. Basically, evil with a face. Wands out, everyone, and small monsters we've beaten up, kept in cages, fed chocolate and forced to fight for us. One last time. Stickbold is next, hilariously, with its campaign mode that culminates in a game of dodgeball with the devil.
Now, when you fight the devil in anything, you know that's the end of the game, right?
Not in Stickbold, but when you think about this, it sort of makes sense, right? I mean, if the devil plays dodgeball, then it stands to reason someone taught him how to play. And in Stickbold, that person is none other than Coach, the evil, now disturbingly half-naked puppet master who's been pulling Satan's strings all along. Only now, he's massive and impervious to dodgeballs and runs around leaving lava skid marks for you to die upon.
I mean, my PE teacher made us play shirts, skins, rugby in a hailstorm, so by comparison, Coach isn't even that bad.
Just make him run into these rocks and then pelt him with the debris. Done. That was weird, wasn't it? Don't worry, we're back on the JRPG train with entry number 6, and it's Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King, otherwise known as Journey to Kill the Cackling Silver-Haired Big Bad Dulmagus, the evil jester with a magic scepter who's turned the princess into a horse and the king into that.
This is classic JRPG fare. Evil villain does evil things, band of unlikely heroes team up to take him down.
They chase him across lots of pretty scenery, always getting there slightly too late, always gasping at how powerful Dulmagus is, and then you finally catch up to him. The fight is a difficulty spike like no other. It's incredibly tough. The jester summoning clones and then transforming into a second form just when you think you've done enough to win. You keep your cool,
i.e. you spam healing spells like a madman,
and you grind him down. The fight is over. You've won. You're halfway through the game.
Turns out Dulmagus was being possessed by the scepter. We should have guessed. We did guess, to be honest.
And the scepter belongs to Lord Rapthorn, the real villain of Dragon Quest VIII, now even longer Journey of the Cursed King. But like Okami, this game is so good we wanted more of it anyway, and I over-leveled myself to the point of bursting and killed Rapthorn without even breaking a sweat. That's what you get for being purple, mate, and for attacking twice per turn. Final entry now, and it's Bloodborne time. Now, the interesting thing here is you can choose not to fight the real final boss of the game and pretend you finished it after defeating Murgo's wet nurse, which is a horrible enough fight to be considered the final boss. I can totally get why you choose to check out and accept Gehrman's offer of a nice, peaceful slumber.
But you can't really, can you? Not when you've come this far. You've got to take that final step.
And so out comes the real final boss, Gehrman the First Hunter, with his ability to counter-shot you into next week and then finish you off with a couple of quick, brutal hits. Ah, lovely one-on-one hunter versus hunter combat. He's just like Father Gascoigne, only harder, quicker and more powerful. This is the real final boss of Bloodborne, so don't sign off after Murgo's wet nurse. Take this guy down, and then you can sit back and join the select group of players who've beaten this game.
Right? Right? Gehrman's not the true final boss either. If you've consumed 3 umbilical cords by this point, you'll now find yourself up against the real final boss, and its name is Moon Presence, and what a lovely creature it is. Good luck fighting it, people who've made it to the end of Bloodborne. I'm happy watching from the sidelines with my JRPGs, thank you very much. So there are 7 times the final boss wasn't actually the final boss. Let us know if you can think of any others in the comments. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video. Watch another one by hitting one of the links on screen. And join us again next week for another Friday feature. Thanks for watching. Expecting that, were you? I saw it in a motorway service station and was waiting for a chance to write that in somehow. But anyway, what Delsin just did is perform a trick video game bosses have been pulling on unsuspecting players for years. I mean, I shouldn't say unsuspecting really, because we know, don't we, that old Sammy Scientist who's been hobbling about for the entire game pretending to have a bad back is absolutely 100% going to down some monstrous concoction and transform into a writhing mass of limbs and teeth when it comes to actually fighting him. Sammy Scientist, played by Final Fantasy VII's Hojo there. Here are 7 more video game bosses who didn't look like that before we fought them. Beware of spoilers for Final Fantasy VIII, Batman Arkham Asylum, Resident Evil 4, Jak 2 and Kingdom Hearts 2. But let's get the Final Fantasy entry out of the way first, because as usual I could fill this entire video with entries from Square Enix's all-conquering JRPG franchise. Kefka from Final Fantasy VI, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, Jecht from Final Fantasy X, but I'm plumping for Final Fantasy VIII's final boss, Sorceress Ultima Cia, because frankly her final form is just weird. She's already ticked off all the boxes on the annoying boss tropes application form, doesn't reveal herself until near the end, check. Is the puppet master for countless other villains you think are the big bad for ages, check. Wants to destroy the world just because, check. But then she goes one further in the final battle by transforming not once, but twice. First you beat her in her human form, easy. Then you beat her Guardian Force Griever, a little bit harder, but still shouldn't give you too much trouble. Then she junctions herself to Griever, junctioning being a thing our party has managed perfectly well all throughout the game with a simple press of X in the menu. But no, that's not good enough. For Ultima Cia, we have to go and physically fuse with the beast, making this monstrosity. Beat that, and you reveal Ultima Cia's true form, which turns out to be this colliding. All throughout the game with a simple we have to go and physically fuse with the beast, making this monstrosity. Beat that, and you reveal Ultima Cia's true form, which turns out to be this kaleidoscopic nightmare with a hole for a head and a neck that for ages I was convinced was a weird squashed face with its tongue sticking out. See it? Oh yeah, and there's Ultima Cia's uniform dangling upside down here. She looks like some kind of Cronenbergian playing card. Kill it with fire and science. Number 2 is Joker from Batman Arkham Asylum, who spends the entirety of the game dancing about thinking about 7 steps ahead of Batman until you finally get to face him at the end. In Joker's defense, he's not a fighter, so if he's going to face the Dark Knight Fairway Mano, he's going to need to give himself a tomato. Enter the Titan virus right into Joker's bloodstream, which transforms him into this lumbering Bane-alike, although Joker does manage to retain his mental faculties, which may explain why, despite now having biceps the size of a hog roast, he still mainly flicks about the edge of the battle, making Batman fight goons instead of him, which is another irritating video game boss habit, isn't it? Just let me fight you! In the end, Joker doesn't really make the most of being 10 feet of warm man meat, and
presents his pointy chin 3 times for Batman to punch. And Bob. Now, it says our next entry is from Resident Evil 4, another series
What?
to take over this entire video series.
What?
Pretty much every major boss in Resident Evil starts out
See ya!
before injecting themselves.
Don't forget to check your phone! Don't forget to check your phone!
Lord Osmond Sander in Resident
What?
who produces this crappy catalog.
What? Hello? Hello? What? Love you! Okay, love you! How does that hit me first of all? So low, like. Oh my god. Like, why won't it let me attack you? Retard. Retard fucking dude. Suck my fucking dick. Oh shit. That's bullshit. In my eyes. Push again. What is it? reducing risks in battle.
Think you might have to in the eye. Yes, Sander, you really have trampled that world and I mean, what's the point of this? Say you win this fight, Sander. Then what? How are you going to sit on your sofa again? Where are you going to shop for clothes? Who's going to swipe right on your Tinder profile? I really don't think you thought this whole transform into a multi-limbed dies on my elbow so testily just to be think through, have you? Our fourth entry is Core from Jack 2 Renegade, who not only does the "oh, I'm a weak and feeble old man, and now I'm a massive monster" thing, but also the "oh, I'm a wise old good guy, and now I'm a massive monster" thing as well. That's right, this seemingly benign Gandalf Kenobi type turned out to be the leader of the Metalhead, the horrible final boss of Jak 2, which is really bloody hard, by the way. And she takes the form of this nightmare scorpion thing, which for the most part sits in its nest and chucks mobs at you before scuttling about the place and kicking your ass. Always the one you can expect. Who would have thought this pious old bloke with a walking stick would turn out to be the game's big bad and transform into a 20-foot scorpion, lord of the game over? Our fifth entry is from Godhand, the old classic PS2 that boasts industry legends Shinji Mikami and Yasushi Inaba on its dev team, as well as a brilliantly over-the-top combat system that allows you to pummel enemies with lightning fast combos and even to hit a home run with a basic dash conjured from thin air. A recurring boss is Godhand, Elgin, a larger-than-life cigar-chomping braggart who mostly stands about letting you go to town on his not inconsiderable guts before strutting off as if he's won the fight. Eventually, Elvis reveals his true form, his demon form, basically consists of lots of mouths, which sort of makes sense seeing as how basically the idea of him eating you. So yeah, now you have to fight a thing with a mouth for a stomach and mouths for hands. You'll get some exercise. Oh, wreck. Come on then, Elvis. A little less conversation.
Oh, I have a lot from Rita.
A little more walloping you in the head until you finally keel over and die. We've got a right old bizarre entry at number 6, and it's Kamoshida from Persona 5, although I could have included any of the bosses from this game to be fair, but we'll go with the first one to avoid spoilers as much as possible. Now, by day, Kamoshida is a former Olympian who now teaches high school volleyball. Also by day, but in secret, he's an abusive bully, torturing, blackmailing, and even sexually assaulting his pupils.
Oh!
Image of himself, king of the castle. No surprise then that when you finally confront Kamoshida inside the rotten recesses of his own subconscious, you find he's taken on a form that more accurately represents his nature. A disgusting perversion of gluttony and twisted sexual desire. Boss Kamoshida is truly a sight to behold, glugging down female bodies and slurping the air with a big blue tongue, a deranged bent to his stare, and horns protruding from his head like all is. Oh yeah, and he's got no self-control. All in all, laying the turn ranged bent to his stare. Kamoshida is truly a sight to behold, glugging down female bodies and slurping the air with a big blue tongue, a deranged bent to his stare, and horns protruding from his head like the devil he is. Oh yeah, and he's got no clothes on too. All in all, laying the turn-based smackdown on Kamoshida is super satisfying, but he's not the kind of boss you want to be fighting when your mum walks in. Oh, I honestly despair of these video games, Robert. Well, you've just burst in here as usual, haven't you? You've got no context to this whatsoever. He's a physical manifestation of his own perversion. It's a comment. No, I mean, why do you have to take it in turns to hit it? Last up, we've got the king of religious final forms. It's Xemnas from Season 1, whose backstory was higher Friday on its own, so let's not go there. Instead, let's look at the practitioner and himself, graphics where he's still a beautiful hair, black clothes, only for him to then transform into a friggin' spaceship. How's he hiding that down his roads? Anyway, after Sora and Creed and hoverboarding around this thing for about 20 minutes, attacking mobs about 37 flying bars, he decides being a spaceship is a bit much, and so transforms again into a massive suit of armor with an even more massive sword. That is more like it, only the suit of armor then starts flinging actual bits of worlds at you. Then, to finish off, he transforms back into himself, but this time with a cool robe, twin lightsabers. Technically, they're not lightsabers, but they are lightsabers, and proceeds to clone himself. So, to beat Xemnas, you have to fight Xemnas, spaceship Xemnas, suit of armor Xemnas with a massive sword who throws bits of landscape at you, and then twin lightsaber Xemnas plus a load of Xemnas clones. And he still loses the fight. Honestly, all that effort only to lose to a kid who's been grinding low-level Heartless for 70 hours. So there we go, 7 bosses who didn't look like that before we bought them. If you can think of any others, then please let us know in the comments. Leave a like if you want our channel to achieve its final form. Watch another video by hitting one of the links on screen, and subscribe for more of these list features every Friday. Thanks for watching. Judge Dredd graphic novel because and it was literally the only thing we could find in the office that wasn't a Victorian artwork. But I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to find out what happens at the end. I could just skip. No, don't do that. Oh, I can't help it. Oh, there it is. Well, I've done that now. Okay, you can cut out the voice filter. I mean, I do this many times, and in video games too. You know, sometimes there'll be a thing you really want to do that you know will ruin the story, but it's so hard to resist. Oh, the irresistible lure of sweet, sugary temptation. That fiery battle that rages between what's fun for 5 minutes right now and what's better in the long term. It's a conflict that permeates every aspect of our lives, especially video games, where you'll often find yourself doing things that might seem like a good idea at the time, but that have a detrimental effect on your enjoyment further down the line. And most of the time you know it too, but the temptation to do that bad but quite fun thing is so strong, damn it. Here are 7 ways we completely ruin games for ourselves, even though we should have known better. Let us know in the comments if you're guilty of any of these. Honestly, what's wrong with them? First up, reading hidden trophies. Now, looking through the trophy list is important for many people, myself included, when you boot up a game for the first time, because you need to make an informed decision about whether or not you're going for the platinum, don't you? Back in the olden days of a few years ago, you'd always run the risk of seeing spoilers in trophy names or descriptions, and hidden trophies were brought in that prevented you from seeing sensitive story information unless you explicitly pressed square to reveal it. Perfect. You'd still be able to check all the trophies for difficulty modes and collectibles and so on, safe in the knowledge that you'll unlock all the hidden trophies anyway during your natural progress through the story. But if you're anything like me, there is simply no getting past this screen without pressing square. Seriously, I don't think I've ever done it. I checked the trophies for Kingdom Hearts 3 when I first got my hands on it, a game for which I'd been waiting over a decade, and just... I'm gonna reveal it, by the way, so minor spoilers for Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, why? Why would I look at that? Damn, what is wrong with me? Honestly, am I just weird? Does anybody else feel compelled to do this too, even when you know you don't want to know what the details of the hidden trophy are? Because, honestly, the amount of story spoilers I give to myself by revealing hidden trophy information is just ridiculous. It's a similar compulsion to when you're in a room in Skyrim and you can't leave until you've read every book on every shelf and stuffed every fruit bowl into your already bursting inventory. Stupid me. I just can't help myself. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Next up is a thing I always do just because I have a fascination with chaos, I think. Like there's a disturbing will I always have to combat that wants to see what would happen if I went and did the thing I knew was a bad thing. In this instance, murdering really important NPCs in games that don't bring them back afterwards. Shopkeepers in Skyrim. Very one day, I think. I know the game is going to magically respawn shopkeepers to take their place. I know I'm not going to be able to trade in these shops ever again. That's nonsense. I don't know, I have a problem. Like, have you ever been on a train, standing in the vestibule, for example, and all of a sudden just felt an overwhelming urge to chuck your phone out the window? Basically, there's a chaotic idiot living inside my brain, and sometimes he will. Like when I attempted Dark Souls a few years ago and ended up having a go at those health sitting around the first bonfire because, you know, I can't help myself. And it turns out they're both A, really strong, and B, remember you attack them even after you've respawned, turning what should have been a safe, gentle tutorial over into absolute hell. Eventually I tricked them both into jumping off a cliff and dying. I win. But then I was told later they're pretty important characters actually, and that what I'd done was really stupid. Entry 3 is my absolute favourite thing to do in RPGs because, as long-time viewers will know, I hate a challenge. Over-leveling. Oh, I love it. For me, there is no better feeling than getting to a boss, having that long cutscene when the boss is all like, ha 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 ha, I'm really strong and scary, this is going to be a really hard fight, and even your heroes are like, oh, you're really strong and scary, this is going to be a really hard fight, and then you get to it, and you win in like 5 seconds. Bish bash bosh, say hello to my sword that's 7 times more powerful than the recommended level for this dungeon, but sometimes these victories can feel hollow. Like, can you really claim to be any good at the game you breezed through by guzzling EXP to the point of over-level obesity? Have I really experienced these games to their full potential? Have other gamers got more out of them because they've had the satisfaction of carefully strategizing their way to a hard-earned victory? Although, this one time, I was completely caught out by over-leveling. I was playing Oblivion, and, as usual, went off to a million side quests before even attempting anything related to the story, partly so I could enjoy the game without Oblivion things popping up all over the place. They only appear after the Battle of the Valley. Mostly because I wanted all the really hard fights against the Daedra to be a cakewalk. What I didn't realise was that in Oblivion, enemy levels scale to match yours. So when I eventually came to the Battle of Kvatch and was level goodness knows what, instead of having a nice gentle introductory battle against low-level Daedra, I was fighting absolute monsters. Now, this is a big old set piece where you fight alongside a load of NPCs. Usually, the NPCs are a great help in this battle, but because in my game they were going up against disproportionately tough opponents, they were getting slaughtered in 2 or 3 hits, meaning this fight was basically me against all the Daedra. In the end, I had to come back out and grind even more until I reached a point where I was so powerful I could just easily handle multiple Daedra. It was a good 35 minutes. That first story mission was the hardest one because I ruined the game for myself with compulsive over-leveling. I would say lesson learned, but here I am, over 10 years on, doing the exact same thing with every RPG I play. Yeah. Next up is one David's guilty of, not me, I've never seen this, and that is playing the sequel first. And what's worse, the sequel we played first was Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. For goodness sake, Dave, it makes me feel like playing that stumbling through it like, oh, what's that? And what's the Metal Gear? And if you play a sequel before the original, you've essentially spoiled a bunch of major plot points for yourself for when you do eventually go back and play the first game. So you're robbing yourself of the full experience of don't get an emotional weight of having to do a journey with your protagonist. There are story elements you don't appreciate, Easter eggs, jokes that fly over your head. Essentially, you're lessening your potential enjoyment of both the original and the sequel by playing the sequel first. I can only understand the game. Devil May Cry 5. I get this, and you can totally play and enjoy Devil May Cry 5. Simplified is a thing I do all the time. Definitely way more so as an adult, and I hate that I do it, and wish I had better willpower, and that is shelving games halfway through without finishing them because a shiny new one has come out. Then going back to the old game, realising we're about to the way through and have forgotten what's going on and all of the controls. There is nothing more likely to make me give up the game than if I come back to it after again and am suddenly rubbish at it all over again. That happened to me a lot last year. Dragon Quest XI came out, then Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out, then Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, then Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, then Devil May Cry 5 came out, now Sekiro is here. I'm on average about 20 hours through all of these games, but haven't finished any part of the hard race. Just about over again, and the thing is, it's difficult learning a game when you're at a point in the story designed to test the ability. You know what they're doing. Odyssey, for instance, I stealthed my way towards like 1,000 doses before Red Dead. I ruined Assassin's Creed Odyssey for myself. By new and shiny things, and I'm also fast coming to the realisation that my backlog of games is actually like both ruinous and active, rushing through games to make them but I'm still guilty of it now. I did Final Fantasy 15 now, when you consider that it takes years for a single-player mainline Final Fantasy to come out, finishing it in 6 days just seems kind of ridiculous. I absolutely hated Final Fantasy. It's just so unbelievable. I didn't take my time, I didn't stop to enjoy the beauty or the appreciate the fun details. Bang! Get the story done. Quick, quick, quick. so excited that and go round to your main house and first up the game and watch them play the game. Obviously this, of course, watching someone play the game on YouTube, which is a brilliant thing to do, actually. I think we should keep doing it. My mate Darren had two older brothers who spent the game. So his house was full of the latest releases. It was my favourite place to go. I literally watched him play all 50 hours of the Legend of Review. I've been looking forward to it myself. December, so I basically had to wait an entire year for my parents to buy it for me. And so it was on Darren's house. So my time finding a game, so 11 months later, there were no surprises left for me. I'd experienced the highs and lows, the incredible CG cutscenes, the epic story twists, and amazing combat by parents. I mean, there was no way I was going to go around his house and watch it, telling you about the playground instead of his words. I don't really regret it, and I always remember the Legend of my favourite RPG. But sometimes I really wonder, does this war as I experienced it for the first time? Video games are just too exciting for their own good, but honestly, why do we insist ruin ourselves? Let us know in the comments if you're guilty of any of this discipline. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and hit the notification bell to make sure you know instantly when a new Friday goes live. Thanks for watching.
Oh my god!
They're unmoving tunnels of obliviousness that only register the light in the 15-foot triangular floor directly in front of them. There is no peripheral vision, no deviation